Hello everyone, it's Bernina Jeff at High Fashion Sewing Machines and Quilt Shop in Grand Junction, Colorado. Today I'm going to show a few things, so watch it all the way to the end because I have some new product that will really help your sewing room and that sort of thing. But we have had the 8.5 by 8.5 inch medium clamp hoop out by Bernina for several months now, and I had a customer call the other day and ask about how do you calibrate it. It says in the instruction book, which on page 4, before using the embroidery hoop for the first time, or if the needle position and center of your embroidery hoop are not aligned, calibrate the embroidery hoop in the setup program. Refer to instruction manual of your machine. There's a major flaw with that. If you have an instruction manual to machine, it came out 2 years before this clamp hoop came out, so you don't know how to do it. On the Bernina .com website, if you look up accessories and go into this clamp hoop, there is a lady that shows you how to do this through Bernina International, Bernina sponsored video. But I'm going to do it in a quick fashion here so you guys can keep on sewing and you can have the most accurate hoop calibration there is. So in her video, she takes the 8.5 inch by 8.5 inch hoop clamp and just a back step here. On the hoop clamp, there are 4 little arrows here that I actually colored in with the Identa pens that I sell on my Shopify account. So it has a miniature little side. So see that little mini side? You can get right in there and color in all your little triangles so you know where the center of your hoop is, or the edge. So what she has you do is you put a quilt in your clamp hoop, and this comes with your clamp hoop is a template. So you put the template in there to hold the quilt in, and you can use anywhere from 4 to 12 of these clamps. I'm just going to use 4 for time's sake. These clamp on the edge of the hoop and over the top of your quilt and hold things in place. So now you can pick this up and the template comes with it. But there's a fallacy here. Depending upon how thick your quilt is, look at how much, get down here real close. Look at how much flex there is. So this is where we're going to center our quilt, our hoop to, and look at how much movement there is there. So I don't know how much Bernina has built in fudge room, but if you wanted to use right to the millimeter of your usable space or field of your hoop, and it's not calibrated because you have exactly the center, because you have this movement here, the foot of your embroidery foot could bang against the edge of your hoop. You're not going to sew against the edge of the hoop, but it could bang against there and possibly bend your foot or cause some issues. So I thought, in my head, what can we do to either take up space so this is exactly in the center, or do something different so you have an exact center on your hoop calibration. So I tried 2 layers of a bath towel, because everybody would have a bath towel, and that still moved around. I tried 3 layers of a bath towel, and the clamps wouldn't hang on to the terry cloth just because it's terry cloth. So I said, what else does everybody have? Well, they have a sheet of paper, and most of them have Scotch tape. So I thought of a way how to calibrate this exact center with 2 strips of paper and some pieces of tape. So I'm going to take this clamp off, and if you want to see how it was done, go to Bernina.com and go into accessories and go into the video. There's a YouTube video on it. Or maybe you can just go to YouTube. I couldn't find anything directly on YouTube on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut 2 strips of paper and line it up on my little centering arrows here. So I want to make sure I use the straight side of the paper, not the cut side, so I'm just going to mark what side of the paper is my straight side, and just eyeball about 1 inch wide. jpvlefty, if you haven't noticed, at AOL.com. AOL.com. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the straight edge of that paper and align it right at the tip, so I'm going to preset this tape here. This arrow means nothing except that that's the straight edge of the paper. So if you look there, I'm putting that right on the tip. And I'm going to have to reposition this because I want it to be exactly straight to the other side. I'm using paper because it doesn't really stretch a lot. So now you need a piece of tape that's wider than your paper. All right, step one. Step two is I'm going to go this route the other direction. So preset this tape here. Line that up there. So take the time to get this accurate because you want to calibrate this once and it's good. The calibration should last until maybe you have an upgrade or an update on your machine. So I know now that if I come down here, there's that one, I come across here. So I'm just going to make a little mark. That is dead center of my hoop. Now, if you don't want to cut pieces of paper, I found that you can take strips of masking tape, put one that way and one that way and tape it down. It works just as good. Just whatever you have handy. Not everybody has 1.5 wide masking tape. 3/4 inch could give too much flex. You may not get exact center. So now we're going to take this over to our machine that we're going to be embroidering on. Today we're going to embroider on, we're going to set up the 790 plus. You have to have an update for your machine to recognize this medium clamp hoop. So if your machine has not been updated since September of 2022, you'll need a free update. You actually can upgrade them too, but you need the update first. So to get into the mode to calibrate your hoop, we're going to show where we're going to push. We're going to push our settings. That's indicated by 2 gears. And then we're going to go into the embroidery. It's the top row middle. That's embroidery hoop icon. And then on the 790, it's just another hoop icon, and it has little arrows going the direction. This means we're going to calibrate. So we're going to touch that. Now, watch what it's saying on the screen. This is Bernina saying that be careful, the hoop is going to move. You must, and I say this, you must hit the green check mark now. So now the hoop is moving. Now, what does it say on the screen? It says push in the buttons and put the hoop on. So slide it underneath. You have to have a needle in your machine, but I usually take the foot off. It makes it a lot easier. So now the screen says the hoop is going to move. You have to push the green button. All right. So the first thing I do is I inspect to see if I'm exact center. And if we look real close down here and I rotate the needle down, I'm nowhere close to center. This is what the calibration is we need to calibrate that needle right to that little red mark I made, right to this opening. You want that needle to kiss both sides of that paper. So now we're going to go up to the screen and we have arrows to push. I always push the arrow the wrong way. Well, that one I got right. So I'm pushing it and the hoop is moving. So now I'm going to test again. Nope, I'm still hitting the paper. So now I need to move the hoop down this way. That's the wrong way. So watch the hoop as I push the button. Okay. Now I have it just exactly the way I want it. It's just touching all those papers. Now, what happens if I have the hoop down, the needle down, and I try to move these calibration buttons? This is very important to know because this happens to everybody and then they think they've screwed everything up. So now sometimes when that needle is all the way down, those buttons, and it comes up, embroidery module is not able to move to the next position. Please check calibration. That's because I had the needle way down and the machine was confused of what to do. So I'm going to rotate the needle all the way up till it can't go up anymore and hit the green check mark. Okay, now I'm going to calibrate. Now I'm off again. Now I just want to show you the process. It's not rocket science. It's just different. And okay, one more bump. There, I'm touching the paper. One more bump this way. Okay, I'm just kissing both pieces of paper. That's exactly what I want. Now, Once you have it at that point, you have to hit the green check mark for confirmation. And it just goes away. You have just calibrated your hoop, and you know your exact center, and you'll never hit your foot or whatever else. So the machine actually, when you have the 26 foot or the number 9 foot or the 34 foot, it knows how wide that foot is so it won't bump into your hoop. So now I can take the hoop off, put my project in it, and feel totally comfortable that I have calibrated the hoop. So that is your hoop calibration. Hope that helps you out there. But I do have a few little gadgets I want to show. Somebody saw this in the background and said, oh, I want one of those mountains that holds all the Bernina feet. Well, they are not inexpensive, and I have 2 of them for sale at the store on a special price. So if you want to call the store, the first 2 people will get these. They're over $200, and it doesn't include any of the feet. So it's just an empty tree that'll hold normal 5.5 millimeter feet and then coated feet down below. So only 2 of those. The other thing I have is I'm advancing in age, and my eyesight needs a lot of light. So I found this light system, and I bought 63 of them. So this I'll have for a little while. So I bought 6, and it's done by the Daylight Company, and you have 4 settings of light. Really nice light. It will clamp onto a tabletop, or you can actually screw it in. The other thing is remember this is a 4-power magnifier too. So you have a magnifier that you can use. I've been using this a lot on my workbench. I fixed the needle threaders, the little bent hooks and stuff on needle threaders or anything that's really small. I actually like to keep this little lens cover on. If you remember when you're little, you used to take a magnifying glass and burn things with it. I've seen where sun will come through the window and actually focus and maybe burn a hole in a couch or something. So you want to keep that cover on if you have the potential of sun. The other thing, it's portable. It comes with, where did I put it? Here it is. It comes with a carrying pouch. So let me show you how easy this is. Let's say you're going to go sew at a retreat, and most retreats don't have good lighting. So you can bring this with you. What you do is you just loosen this little screw here, rotate about a quarter turn, pull it out. That guy goes in there. You rotate, you take that screw till this comes off, and it unplugs here. This goes in. On the other side, you have your power unit there, and then you have your clamp. But I want to show you what's really cool about this clamp. This clamp will store too. But let's say you don't have anywhere on your sewing area to clamp onto. You can unscrew this a little bit, and this little holder comes out, and right down through the center inside of this holder is a screw hole. So you can take like a drywall screw or a nice flush screw, put it on there, and then use a screwdriver and screw it down, and then you have a place anywhere on a tabletop or anything that you want to screw. I probably wouldn't do Velcro because Velcro is not strong enough to support that. And then there you go. You got a portable light system. So these things are I'm going to sell these for $170, and it includes shipping. They're usually $209. I bought out a company, so I got a special deal on them. So let me know if you want. And it is called, let's see what it's called. It's called Omega 3.5 Magnifier with Light by the Daylight Company. So I can ship it right into this box, and you can have it sent right to your home. So I know all our experienced eyesight requires a little more light. So I'm trying to help you out so you can keep on sewing. This has been Jeff at High Fashion Sewing, 970-256-1293. You can call after 9:30 a.m. Mountain Time. You can visit my Shopify account, which is bernina-jeff.myshopify.com. You can email me. I answer all my emails personally. It's J, P as in Peter, V as in Victor, LEFTY at AOL.com. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe. And if you like this video, hit the like button. I will have additional information down in the descriptions. So if you didn't catch it during the video, you can catch the description and see the pertinent information there. Thank you very much.